There is Rob Wharne. Will he be able to utilise that massive break of his? It looks like, Mr. Webb, you have your answer. That is the whacker, cue ball in hand. And after all the build-up we've given him, he's cut breaking. Can you believe it?
Oh, that's a huge disappointment. Although it might work for him. It is going to work for him. So it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, this is step one of setting their partnership up. They're on the right-hand side of the arena. They've done the right thing. They've won the lag. And then they have the choice who breaks in the opening frame. It'll be really interesting for me to see whether Rob plays frame 3 or not. If he's set in frame 3, that means he gets the break in frame 3 and in frame 5. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of setting this partnership up.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of work to do in the interim, though, to just get themselves to frames 3 and 5, maybe even with a lead. Races to 4 tonight, 20 minutes on the match clock. If that one comes first, we'll take the result at 0 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds a shot for the first 15 minutes, 15 for the final 5. Jimmy Croxton in action. First shot is on reds. They call their extension early, and a chance for them to get stuck into these. It was always going to be reds, you felt like, with the 8 ball the way that it was. And actually, the earlier they can solve that little equation at the top right, the better, because this is quite comfy to pick apart. Everything's got a hole.
Well, I actually didn't mind yellows there. There was a semi-problem on both, and the semi-problem on reds is the one that's just below the 8 ball, that it doesn't go to top right, but you've got the red to top right next to it to try and land on it, but you've got to be very precise, and if you went yellows, the one nearest the left centre pocket. All the rest actually are okay. It wouldn't have shocked me if they'd gone yellows. The 8 ball passes easily. They've made their decision, and now to me it's about just solving that top right hand corner, which it can go wrong. It shouldn't go wrong, though. Well,
wow.
This is the first problem with it going wrong. They now can't get close to their work. They're going to be playing the shot from distance at the top of the table.
Yeah, Jimmy short on that shot. Wanted to track down the table, a couple more rolls, and it naturally would attract up the table off this next shot. The whacker is going away from his work here. Is he going to try and get fancy and cute, or is he going to accept?
I think the yellows at the bottom of the table are in the way. You can't. I don't think he could get fancy, and now they're actually in a slight spot of bother. Does he play this natural and bump the 8 ball and play the red in the middle? He's got too much angle to hold for it top left. Does he play into it? It's tricky.
Yeah, good little bit of cueing required. He's dragged it in.
To play for it in the centre.
Quite like that.
That's very nice. That's actually a much better shot than it looked.
It's the sort of shot, though, because it's Jimmy Croxton and he is a really gifted cueist, you really fancied him for. He was a cueist first before he was a pool player, put it that way, with Jimmy Croxton. Was a very gifted snooker player as a junior. Still pretty handy on the snooker table, we're led to believe.
So's Rob, actually, as well.
Yep.
I've had the misfortune of playing them both at snooker, and they can both still play.
So a perfect start for Jimmy Croxton and Rob Wharne. For Harrison and Cam Tolley, impassive. As we heard from both of them before, this is the sort of thing they'll be expecting tonight. They know they have to play really well. It's actually really interesting hearing from Phil in particular in that interview when I put it to them, is tonight all about getting the run at the right time? And he said, well, in a group like this, that's actually useless unless you play well. The first thing, you must play well and get yourself in the conversation to be able to have that run in the first place.
Yeah, agreed. And it's interesting, he's gone for his control break as well. He's gone
that's
for
Phil's
the
best break
head down, go for the pop, and then, if that's working for him, he has another break where he stands up on it and the cue ball gets a bit wild. And the other point of note there was that he's actually playing Jimmy Croxton here in this frame, so therefore the Croxton-Wharne partnership have set themselves up that Rob's going to get 3 straight breaks here, assuming we get to frame 5. Slightly trickier layout than the one that Rob and Jimmy took out in the previous frame, but not by a huge amount. There's one awkward red, and that's the one nearest the top left-hand corner pocket. Now, if the red nearest it passes, then that's a good ball to get to it. He's also got this one to top right where he can come across and almost target the yellow. Just reach the yellow, you'd be plumb perfect. Okay, got the line slightly wrong, but he is on this red. If he hits the yellow full in the face, it's a lot better, but he's still on. Problem he's got is he's thin on this ball. How does he connect to the next ball?
Oh, didn't see the miss coming.
All his attention was on the cannon, which actually worked out perfectly for him. And he's left it wide open here for Jimmy. The yellow drops in the left centre pocket. It looks awkward, but it does. He's actually good on it now. As long as he's got a ball to play top right afterwards without having to do much with the cue ball, this is fine.
Worst possible case scenario really for Phil to run aground where he did, because he's left Jimmy on his most awkward ball. This was the missed red. It's a bit thick. All his attention was on that cue ball.
Jimmy giving the centre pocket plenty of respect there. Drops it in, compromises position a touch, but he knows he's got a ball to top right. Once he lands into perfect position, this should be fairly routine.
Yeah, and these shots aren't as sort of dangerous as they once were. Well, he still slid it in off the jaw. He's working a little hard here. Still tricky, those shots. I was about to make the point, they weren't as terrifying as they once were, with the lower cushions and all the rest of it, and the lack of any bumps and ridges along this lovely RAS on Apollo. It makes those shots a little bit more palatable, but showed it was still tough. Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah, really good point, actually. I'm surprised how he played it. I don't know whether he's overhit the shot or not, or whether he was trying to come down and be on that ball or bump that yellow to left centre, because he's left himself a semi-problem. I mean, it was a good recovery pot, but he's now got to get nice on the yellow that's left up the table, which, okay, it looks easy, but it still has to be done, and he might have to do it from here.
I think he...
But if he does it from here, then he has to leave a good angle to come down the table. So that shot to top right, he's far from solve the problem he's created for himself.
Checks that in.
Fabulous. He realised going up for the top was going to be a problem, because if he doesn't get the good angle, he's dead in the water. So loads of side there just to hold down the table. And now he needs one good angle just to get up for the one at the top of the table.
Yeah, and he's got that perfectly. We'll show you this one again. Watch the cue ball here from Jimmy Croxton. Loads and loads of check side. Watch how unnatural this looks.
Yeah, and actually makes the yellow on the thin side of the pocket as well. Putting the left-hand side on the ball pushes the cue ball out to the right, and tendency is then to miss it a touch on the thin side, but got enough of the pocket to let it fall in and landed absolutely ball in hand perfect. As is that. Beautiful shot.
Oh, that's lovely.
Interesting to see how he plays this one. I think does the natural line take him down just to take the 8 ball left centre? The red in the middle of the table probably stops him from being able to nicely get onto it bottom left, unless he wants to leave it high. Yeah, comes down for left centre. It was lovely.
Right, perfect. He played one excellent shot to get himself in A1 position, and then after that was never not in perfect position. That was brilliant from Jimmy Croxton. Classy little finish, really, and it was a problem with his own making. He came to the table in a favourable position after the miss from Phil, and a tricky pot that left himself a clumsy cue ball. Just made his work a bit harder, but that was a really impressive out after that.
Well, it really was. It was measured as well. It was very measured, very controlled. Realised he caused himself an issue and then worked out how to solve it.
And after giving it the big billing, Rob Wharne continues with his cut break.
It was a great cut break in the opening frame, though.
He
has one of the most powerful front ball breaks you're ever going to see.
That 8 ball's tracking. That 8 ball's really tracking. It's going to stay up.
as does everything else, though.
Wow. I'm amazed this stayed up. That looked in from a long way out, and it just fell short. Jimmy Croxton's reaction in the back, he was looking at it.
Got to be honest, I watched that 8-ball the whole way, and I didn't think it was ever going in. It got a little bit closer than I thought it would.
Perfect roll technology just kept on rolling.
First touch of the table here for Cam in frame 3.
Yeah, 2-0 down. Less than ideal.
And he's got a problem with a couple of yellows. Both of the ones on the left-hand side, nearest the 8-ball.
Yeah, definitely the trickiest layout of the 3 that we've had from the break so far. It's got marginally easier.
Yeah,
probably save that yellow for a double now.
Maybe. Depends how much angle he's got on this yellow to left centre, whether he feels he can cushion first, kick into the yellow. No, he's playing the double now.
I think it's the right shot. It's a lovely, lovely shot too.
It's the right shot now. That was lovely. The good thing with that shot he played, he wasn't opening up the table for Rob in terms of if he misses that. The red that the cue ball's near is still in a terrible position. There are 2 reds nearest the right-hand side are also in bad positions as well, depending on where the yellow would have finished if he'd missed. Really good choice of shot.
Yeah, that appears to have unlocked the frame for Cam Tolley.
He just wants a slightly high angle here. And a bit like Jimmy in the frame before, I think he's landed absolutely ball in hand perfect here, just to track down and make it as easy as it possibly can be.
If he was being picky, he may have wanted to be straightened on this, but I think he's got a nice little angle to come in and out.
Just needs to be able to see the 8-ball.
Yeah. Yeah, avoids those reds nicely, had a lane. And this is a lovely, lovely out from Cameron Tolley. Appreciated there by Phil Harrison in his chair with a little tap on the knee. And that, if ever you wanted one, is a seal of approval.
Well, all 4 players have now had table time out there, and who would have thought that Phil Harrison would be the only one to make a mistake so far?
Yeah, it's been high quality this match, it really has. That was an excellent finish from Cameron Tolley, best of the lot so far. He looked at that layout when he came to the table, and we are only 11 days away from Halloween. It did look a little spooky.
No surprise to see Cam go for the cut break. It's kind of his standard MO. Oh, no.
Cue ball is in, 8-ball stays up. He's not done a Tom Cousins.
Yeah, it's a gift of a layout. How does the cue ball end up there? Went straight there. So he caught that maybe a touch on the thin side. You'd like that cue ball to be going up the middle, like straight through the pack. Didn't get touched at all on the way through.
So cue ball behind the line to start this visit to the table.
Hasn't got a great opening shot. I know it's so easy to say these yellows are nice, but he has to play the one over the pocket first. And the positional side of this shot can go wrong. It's never as easy as you think it's going to be when it's right in the pocket. Cue ball. He's caused himself an issue. There you go. So straight away, what looked a very... If it was cue ball in hand anywhere on the table, they get out 100 times out of 100. So just that one shot made it tricky.
Yeah, it's a strange one because it's impossible to miss the shot, basically. But weirdly, getting a good cue ball is, as you say, it's harder than it looks. Jaw comes into play a lot. I wonder what they're going to do with that yellow close to the side rail.
It's not terrible for a double. Well, they've caused themselves another issue here. I think the yellow still goes in the right centre.
It needs to.
So he's going to play it now and come round. Potentially go around 3 cushions here and target that yellow. No, not quite, but doesn't move the red. Well, at least it goes now.
I think he played on the red. Yeah, I think that was maybe not plan A, but it's certainly one they've stumbled upon and executed really well.
The left-hand one of the two in the middle of the table gets them perfect on the one down the cushion now. I'm surprised they're not playing it. So maybe leaving that one down the cushion as the last ball, with the 8 ball up the table. But they were perfect on the left-hand one of the two, and if they land on the one down the cushion, they could drop it in, and the one they've just played would have been their connector back to the one left in the middle of the table. So let's see if they get there anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to grumble with the way they've gone around it, as they're pretty nice on every yellow they've been on, and they're going to be perfect on the yellow they needed to be perfect on. And it does connect okay to the 8 ball as well.
He may use the red here rather than coming up the table. He may just play into the red and hold there. Depends how he sees it. Decided to go up the table and just pulled up in time. Thought it was going to go too far for a second.
Yeah, a tiny bit of extra juice on that from the Joker, but no harm done. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this match, and Rob Wharne just makes that one. Goodness me, I thought that had missed for a second.
Well, I was really surprised he went up the table, because if he just rolls that in and puts the cue ball where the red is, which was an easier shot to play, that's an easier 8 ball than the one that Rob's just made. I actually thought Rob had missed it.
Well, if Phil Harrison and Cameron Tolley are to get back into this game, they need to do it quick.
Come on then, Rob, let's see the front ball. Change the cue here. Is he going to stick with a cut break? I didn't notice whether he was cut breaking with a break cue or not. He was, because he's staying there.
Rob Wharne's break, leading 3 frames to 1.
4 minutes and a solitary second remain. He's given that as much as he possibly can. You can't give the cut break any more than that, because if he's done that at 99% power, if you do it at 100, that cue ball's off the table. Oh.
Yeah, very nearly was off the table anyway, wasn't it? Wowee.
That's what I mean. He couldn't have given that anymore.
No.
Anyone who's attempted the cut break will know that you do have to control the pace. You try and hit it as hard as you do the front ball, the cue ball will just fly off the table. Key is to maximise power and control. There is a skill to the cut break. It's let's just say its detractors will say it's an easier skill than the front ball break, but there is definitely a skill to it. Best proponents of it showcase it beautifully.
Yeah, I've never fully understood that argument. It's not as though it's a cheat code to success. And I'll tell you what, if I was playing Rob, I'd rather see him doing that than breaking front ball, because his front ball is a very impressive break. Anyway, it's worked for him 2 out of 3, so you can't argue it. Rob's made the right decision in that regard. Now just needs to play a good cue ball here and get his side to victory. Ooh. He just had a little bit too much angle there. He'd love to have been able to sort of float that one in and be halfway between the 2 reds on the side, and then he could have played them whichever way around he wanted, probably down the table before up the table.
Where's that red landed? Oh, I think it's come up okay.
He's going to have to play an unbelievable shot here to get on the 8 ball.
10, mate. Make sure.
Yeah, it really is. He can count his last red, but you're absolutely right. That 8 ball now is a big issue.
The angle he's left here, if he'd left himself straight, he's dead in the water, and now he's left himself that angle. He can screw this one straight back into position. That was brilliant. Needs another good one here, of course, but the shot's available for him.
Oh, what a shot. Deserve a flick like that. Absolutely whistled in from the whacker. With a minute left, this to seal it. Woof. Very, very good. And what a start that is from Jimmy Croxton and Rob Wharne. As good as it gets, really, from the pair of them as they kick off the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup final group of the last 16 with victory. Pop the kettle on, because the magician is coming up next.